Good morning, students. Today we will study how the food that is digested in the alimentary canal is absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. The first two phases of physiological processes occurring in the alimentary tract are ingestion and digestion, as we have already studied. The third phase that we are going to study today is absorption. It is a process by which the digested food passes from the alimentary canal into the circulatory system. The main site of absorption is ileum because its absorptive surface is greatly increased by the finger-like projections called villi. Each villus contains blood capillaries and lymph capillaries called lacteal. This is the LS of the intestinal villus, which clearly shows how the absorptive surface is enhanced by these finger-like projections. The villi show constant movement and the fluid in contact with their surface is continuously absorbed. The absorbed food in soluble form is transported to various parts of the body by two mechanisms. These mechanisms are passive absorption and active absorption. The passive absorption, the movement of the molecules here through the membrane from higher concentration to lower concentration. The molecules move along the concentration gradient, that is, they are moving downhill. Therefore, in this process, no energy is required. Passive absorption is further of two types, diffusion and osmosis. What is diffusion? The nutrients are at a higher concentration in the intestinal lumen than inside the cell. The molecules are also small and water soluble. The diffusion continues as long as the concentration difference persists. That is, as long as there is higher concentration on one side and lower concentration on the other, the diffusion will continue. Therefore, diffusion cannot account for a complete absorption of a nutrient from the intestine. Diffusion is of two types, simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. In simple diffusion, it is without the use of a carrier molecule. It does not require a carrier molecule, but this is a very slow process. In facilitated diffusion, a carrier is required, which is usually a protein, for the transport across the membrane. Carrier proteins are specific for a nutrient. Now, what is osmosis? Diffusion of water molecules through gastrointestinal mucosa from low solute concentration to a region of high solute concentration. Water is absorbed through the intestinal membrane by the process of osmosis. Whenever any solute is absorbed from the intestine, its osmotic effect will cause a simultaneous absorption of an equivalent amount of water. Now, active transport. The nutrient molecules are usually absorbed from a region of low concentration to high concentration, that is against the concentration gradient, and therefore this process requires energy which comes from ATP. Active transport can occur even when the concentration of substance is much lower in the intestinal lumen than in the blood. By this process, a substance can be absorbed completely from the intestinal contents. This process also occurs very rapidly. In this, a carrier molecule, usually a protein as we have seen earlier, forms a carrier nutrient complex with a nutrient molecule. After releasing the nutrient molecule, the carrier utilizes ATP and again moves to pick up another nutrient molecule. Sodium-potassium exchange pump of the membrane helps in active absorption of sodium in the intestine. Now, what are the factors that control the absorptive powers? There are three factors. First is the histological structure of the given portion of the alimentary canal. In the alimentary canal that starts from the mouth, what is the structure? Does the structure support absorption of the digested food? The second is length of the time the substances are retained in it. How long the digested food is present in that particular portion. And the third is composition of digested food material at any moment. Whether the food substance is digested to its smallest denominator, whether it is in the state that it can be absorbed. So these three factors control the absorptive. So today we have studied the various mechanisms of absorption of digested food across the gastrointestinal mucosa. In our next lesson, we will study the routes of absorption for each food category.